Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2025-222 for parcel number 22245-091415500, represented by 4G Properties LLC, Justin Good, who is in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brinkville as chair, Jerry Gingrich as vice chair, and Mark Steinmetz as member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines and please address the board only, sir.
Okay.
Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, the appellant will go first and present testimony, then be followed by the assessor. Go ahead.
We submitted some information that wasn't used in this valuation. What has happened recently is there's been about a 25% decline in rent rates, not just in Grant County, but it's kind of a nationwide issue. And it doesn't seem like the assessor's office has been able to keep up with how quick it reacted. It started in about mid last year. It was a supply and demand issue. Because of cheap interest rates, a lot of these projects got put in motion and we oversupplied. And we had in the response from the assessor, the comp that they had used was back from October of 23, a $560,000 sale, which I was very familiar with the property. I've been in it. Rent rates were, again, 25% higher at that time, affecting the value. Replacement cost is still high, but these are investment properties, so they should be viewed differently. Again, I've attempted to provide some comps that were not used, but they are very valid comps, very valid information. They sold at $400,000. And we also have an inconsistency. We had 4 identical properties on the same road. And the response from the assessor was it was an error on their part. We're now dealing with oversupply issue, rents down, slowing economy, property values are still chasing what it was. A question that I don't know the answer to is what is the cap rate the assessor uses for valuation? We are currently at 2.96% is what our property is with the current assessment. And how often does it adjust for interest rates? Because interest rates have a huge factor on cap rates. We can't control the rates or supply and demand, but we can keep current on how investment properties are being affected and adjust taxes accordingly. I'm a builder, broker, and investor, and I promote Grant County. This balance is critical and needs to be viewed as an investor to keep it current.
Anything else?
That would be it.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on my response on page number 7, you'll see the sales comparison grid with the one comp that was mentioned. Down there, after adjusted, it looks like an adjusted market value of $546,386. As the appellant just mentioned, he did mention in the petition that there were sales that they had recently sold 2 duplexes 5 years newer than the subject for $400,000. At that time, I wasn't able to find what those were. I pulled up our sales layer. I pulled up our sales. I wasn't able to find those. With with the information that I have now received, it looks like the reason for that would have been because those sales were in December of 25, so much later than our assessment date of 1/1 of 2025. That's why I wasn't seeing those in the on our sales layer or anything like that. The chances are, with the sales being that late, that may not have been qualified by us yet. There's a little bit of a delay in that. So I can see that these, from first glance, they do look like good sales, but they are well after our cutoff date for our sales. And also, he did mention that they are assessed at $417,736 for other duplexes. That was an error. When we applied the market adjustments, the way that some of the duplexes were valued differently. So when that adjustment's applied, it was only applied to the ones that were called duplexes rather than, I believe, the other ones were called single-family residences. Just the way that is entered into our system. So it was an error on our side. So those ones should have gotten the adjustment, which would have actually put them somewhere around if they were the same, had the same components and same square footage, it would have been around the same value as the ones that we have today. So that was an error on our side. We don't go back and adjust those if it's going to result in a higher value. We don't go back and change those. A few things that were mentioned here. Okay, so the comps or after the cutoff date, what is the cap rate that we use? These weren't valued on the income approach. These were valued strictly on the replacement cost, new, less depreciation, market adjusted. I didn't see anything in the petition that mentioned the income, so it wasn't something. We don't have a lot of information for income on these types of properties. So typically we don't have a lot that we do on the income. So I don't have an answer for what is our cap rate because it wasn't used as far as the income approach goes on these ones. So with that, we are asking the board to just double check that real quick. To sustain the current assessed value at land, 27,500, building and structures, 439,715, for a total assessed value of 467,250.
Any rebuttal?
So this is not single family home, and it's not a residence. It's an investment property. It's a business, and for a business to keep interest in people investing in our county, we have to have things in check. And when we don't know what the cap rate is of how we would approach that, I think that's an important piece that we need to identify as markets are shifting so rapidly.
Yeah, I think he addressed that, but did you submit anything that said you want to know any
No,
of that
we
information?
don't know what the cap rate is, which I assume that we would.
Did you submit any information requesting
No,
him to do that? I mean,
no.
that's something, communication is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, this is the first time here, and I didn't know how to prepare for it.
If you have questions, you need to contact the assessor's office.
Right.
They're willing to talk to you anytime and any day, so.
Okay.
Anything else? Or anything else?
No.
Clayton, anything?
Nothing for me.
We'll just roll right into the next one. This is petition number 2025-223 for parcel number 22251-0914155506, represented by 4G Properties LLC, Justin Good, who is in attendance. And the assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance.
Keep in mind, you're still under oath. Go ahead.
It's an identical property.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yes, as the appellant stated, this is identical, all the same information from the last one. With that, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land, 27,500, Building and structures, $439,715, for a total assessed value of $467,215.
Any other rebuttals, sir?
We'll go to the next petition, petition number 2025-224 for parcel number 22256-0914155511, represented by 4G Properties LLC, Justin Good, who is in attendance. And the assessor's office is represented by Clayton Johnson, who is in attendance. Chair?
Go ahead.
Identical property.
Identical, okay. Go ahead, Clayton.
Yes, again, also, all the same information. Therefore, we're asking the board to sustain the current assessed value at land, $27,500, building and structures, $457,611, for a total assessed value of $485,111.
Guess we can group them all together. Do you have any questions at all?
I do. I have a question on the last one, and it's for the assessor's office. On your response, it shows the current assessed value of $485,111, but on the change of value notice, it shows a value of, make sure I get back up to the right page, of $467,215. And I know in the end, you're recommending the lower value, but I'm curious of what happened there.
Interesting. So you said the value on the change of value notice, because I'm seeing here on the petition, the determination also says 485,111.
I understand.
Yeah, and then it does on here say, now, let's see.
For 224? For 2025-224?
It's the one, the first one. It's the paperwork for the first one.
Oh, it was.
15500 is the first one.
Okay, yeah, it just got moved down, so.
Yep.
It was a clerical error.
Okay. Oh, so the change of values, okay. The change of values that is attached to this one is for a different property.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what the issue was. Thank
Okay.
you.
Uh-huh.
Mark?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearings. The board will review all the information provided, and board orders stating their decisions will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization, and we'll be hearing petition number 2025-159 for parcel number 61960-200669002, represented by Michael and Sandy Kellstrom, who are not in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Casey Gray, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Excuse me. The Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakeville, as chair, Jerry Gingrich as vice chair, and Marge Steinmetz as a member. We reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Since there's no appellant, does the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes,
Go ahead.
thank you. This subject parcel includes 5.6 acres of land and a 1-story single-family residence, as well as a shop with an office. Specific reasons in their original appeal were that their home had been on the market for 1.5 years at $625,000, and they had had no offers at the time. Per RCW 844030, our office has to value at 100% of market value. So we can't base value off of a sale that hasn't happened. So with their property not selling, that's not something that we can take into account, unfortunately. Sales in the comparison grid on page 9 were the homes that the subject was compared to. These sales are all within the subject neighborhood and of similar build and makeup. The appellant did supply a sales comparison. It was on the date of the deadline, so I wasn't able to respond to it. In that comparison, 2 of the sales they used were outside of the subject neighborhood and were also older than the sales that we used. The one sale that is within the neighborhood is also a sale that we used as a comparable. Within their comparison, they didn't make adjustments for the differences in the homes either, which our sales comparison grid makes adjustments for all of those differences. With that, the sales we used were used because they were within the subject neighborhood and more comparable than the ones in their sales comparison approach. So with that, we are asking the board to sustain our recommended value of $57,171 for land, $601,059 for building and structures, for a total assessed value of $658,230.
I just have a question. You stated that they provided evidence right at the deadline. Did the BOE get that evidence? Is it,
It's up with all,
okay, I've skipped over it.
no, it's after the appraiser response. They turned it in after I believe they had stated that it was in response to the appraiser's response, which is why it's posted after.
Thank you.
Down there. Yeah. Fine, might be the appellant. Fortunately, this one. Oh.
Okay, for your board of hearings. It's an open meeting. You're welcome to come in. We just need you to sign in as a guest for the record.
Oh, we did the 10 o'clock early. I didn't have any other questions. Thank you.
Did you have anything else for this hearing?
Orange?
Okay. This concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearing. The board will review all the information provided and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order. Good morning. Today is Thursday, April 23rd, 2026, and we are on record with the Grant County Board of Equalization. We'll be hearing petition number 2025-084 for parcel number 47937-16194200, represented by Knudsen et al. Sterling Knudsen, who is in attendance. The assessor's office is represented by Casey Gray, who is in attendance. Please silence your cell phones and note these hearings are being recorded and will be posted to YouTube once the order has been issued. Mr. Chair, the board is convened and the hearing is open.
The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brinkle, as chair, Jerry Gingrich as vice chair, Marge Steinmetz as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines and please address the board only, sir. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Sir?
I don't understand what you're saying.
He can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello? Okay.
I don't know if these will reach, but I have headphones that you could, might be able to help. Found something, hold on. They're plugged into the computer, that is as far as they reach, so if you'd like to sit over here.
Reach to the end of the table?
This is, they're plugged into the front of the computer.
Oh,
You have to consider naturally.
That's okay, that's okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Well, what I have to say, I've written down.
Okay,
he's
can
asking
you
if
hear
can
me?
hear
I can hear you now.
on this.
Okay, I'm gonna reread what I just read so that you can hear it. Okay? Bear with me, Casey. The hearing today is regarding the true and fair value set by the Grant County Assessor's Office. Reminder, this relates to the assessed value of your property, not your property taxes. Board of Equalization is independent of the Assessor's Office. We are 3 citizens appointed by the Grant County Commissioners and trained by the Department of Revenue. Today's board is comprised of myself, Jim Brakefield as chair, Jerry Gingrich as vice chair, and Marge Steinmetz as a member. We have reviewed all evidence presented by both parties. This hearing is only to provide any additional oral testimony. No new evidence may be submitted at this time. Remember, everyone's time is valuable. Please try to keep to the timelines. Please address the board only. Do both the appellant and the assessor's representative swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Okay, do you swear that any testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Not getting anywhere.
He can't hear. Take it off, Dad.
What was the question again?
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
He's just asking you to swear in. Do you swear this is?
Yes.
But this is what he's asking, so you have to hear it.
Okay, but I'm not hearing it through the.
Okay, then you need to tell us, because I don't know. Is it this way? Okay.
Can you hear us now?
No. Yeah, I can understand you
Okay,
a little bit slower.
okay.
It just jumbles together.
Okay, the appellant will go first. So you go ahead and present your testimony, and then the assessor's office will go ahead. So go ahead.
I'm gonna read you what I've written.
That's fine.
You can follow it if you want, I have a copy.
I'm sorry, we can't accept anything like that.
That's why I wrote it down. What I have to say is in response to the assessor's comments, with regard to the Grant County Assessor's response dated March the 25th, 2026 concerning tax parcel number 1412-8000, also known as Tract 3 of the Adrian Tracts, all the references made to justify reassessing the taxable value at $70,765 were abandoned because they were not even close to having the same values as the above referenced tax number. The assessor now uses 2 similar 5-acre parcels in Grand Orchards that are assessed at $3,150 per acre instead of $11,358 per acre, and value assessed in the January reassessment. The one most important comparison to the reassessment of Tract 3 in the Adrian plat is found on the same unconstructed road in the town plat of Adrian. This is illustrated on my recorded surveys that I did, followed by another survey I did secondly, which updated the shape and size of parcel 3, which is 14,128,000, located east of the railroad grade. That railroad grade actually took out half of track 2, which is in the plat. Tract 1, parcel 14,127,800, which is now 4.2 acres, is reassessed as, these are the two adjacent parcels in the same plat. It's reassessed at $9,905 per acre, and the parcel next to it on the same unconstructed road as belonging to Linda Merrill is a 5.86 acres, which is reassessed at $582 per acre. So my tract 3, which is 6.23 acres, and using the value for the reassessment of $4,477, makes it valued at $710 per acre. That value per acre makes it fit right in with the two aforementioned reassessed parcels. So the reference to the assessor has available in her own assessed value parcel assessment of the two almost identical parcels to the west. In all fairness, I suggest that the assessed value of tract 3, which is 14,1228,000, be left as the 4477 assessment and not raised to 19,624 acres, as the assessor has compromised from their assessment of $70,765. So that is nothing more than an observation made to two adjacent parcels next to the one that she's reassessed. So my suggestion there is to leave my lot 3 tax parcel alone, because it fits right in with the reassessment of the two adjacent parcels. On the 3 large parcels that were referenced, parcel 16, 19, 36,000 being 23.59 acres, was originally assessed at 55,950 or 23.56 per acre. Now it's been reduced to 33,000 plus, down to $1,411 per acre. The next parcel in size, the largest of the 3, being parcel 16, 19, 32,000, which is 31.92 acres, was originally assessed at 59,755 or 1872 per acre. That's now been reduced to 36,000 or 1140 per acre. But the smallest parcel, being 20.71 acres, that was originally assessed at $31,945 or 1542 per acre, was never reduced, but it was kept the same at 1,542 per acre, as is shown on the March the 25th statement for both of those parcels. In other words, those 3 parcels, the reference to them was abandoned, and the assessor admitted that they chose the wrong criteria to make the reassessment. So what they did, they took those 3 parcels that are all evaluated as large parcels with no drivable access and totally undeveloped. They've lowered them by 40%, but they didn't lower the smallest parcels. So on page 1 of the assessor's submittal, she states that parcels 16, 19, 36,000 and 16, 19, 32,000 were wrongfully assessed and subsequently assessed at 40% lower. But parcel 16, 19, 42,000 was not reduced, but it had the same references for the assessment as the other 2. So my question is, why was it not reduced? So its value should be 40% lower, or $925 an acre. Therefore, on page 4 of the assessor's revaluation, the smallest parcel should be reassessed, just like the other two were. In other words, we had 3 parcels, and they abandoned the reasoning for reassessing them and just came up with another number. So the assessor says that as parcels, similar parcels get larger in size, the valuation per acre drops. So my statement is, I've suggested that they be evened out at $1,000 an acre for each one of them. But since parcel 1936,000 is 23.59 acres, it should be reassessed at $846 an acre. Likewise, 932,000 parcel being 31.92 acres should be reassessed at 684 per acre, not 1140. And this makes the adjusted reassessment consistent with the assessor's method of proportionate on a dollar per acre amount. So what it comes down to is that those 3 particular parcels were compared to parcels in the Drumheller area, and then they were compared as to having no road access. The assessor, on every assessment the assessor makes, they say they've done an on-site inspection. So I drove out to those parcels and I've surveyed. I'm a retired surveyor, 50 years in Ephrata, and I've surveyed a lot of property. Primarily some of these ones that they reference these large parcels to. And they said there was no access. Every one of them has access through the easement process. And I drove out there, and there's roads everywhere you can drive to every one of them. So the assessor rescinded that statement and abandoned their claim regarding that comparison. But they kept, and they adjusted 2 of them, the 2 larger parcels, but they didn't adjust the smaller parcel. That's a 40% reduction. So that's it.
You're going over your time
Yeah, right.
period, okay. Normally, we do 1 parcel at a
I
time,
understand.
and you hit all 4 of them. So, Casey,
I'm prepared to address all 4 if you guys are okay with that.
let's go ahead.
Okay.
Open that door already.
So with the 2 parcels that we are recommending a lower value, those larger parcels, with the transfer of information from our software,
Could you address each one of them so we know which one you're talking about?
sure. So the first one would be Appeal 2025-85, which is parcel number 161932000.
Okay.
And the next one is Appeal 2025-87, parcel number 161936000.
Okay.
So those 2, they had the wrong value assigned to them. They had the label of being that large suburban 2 land, but they had the wrong value assigned. So that was something that was discovered after our original responses went out. So that's the reason for adjusting them now. It's moving them from,
Do you need to move closer so you can hear her? Go ahead and move up to the table if you want to move up so you can hear her.
This is Casey, this is our assessor that came out, so now she's responding.
So
You come sit over so you can hear her.
okay, so with those 2 larger parcels, we had the wrong value assigned to them. Wrong label, but they had the wrong value assigned. So that was discovered after our original responses were sent. So that's the reason for the adjustment afterwards, to reduce the value of those to be consistent with that large suburban 2 rate, because we did have a mistake in the value. So that large suburban 2 rate is based off of roads with no power and no road access. Now, an easement can be different than the road access. So this would be undeveloped roads. And at the time of sale is when we do that. So if these parcels were sold as with having no access and then a road was developed later, that would not be something that was taken into consideration with the sales value. So those were reduced based off of this, based off of our error, but the value for those large suburban two slices, or all the larger parcels, so the two mentioned, but also for 2025-84 parcel number 161942000. Those are all based off of that large suburban two rate, which are the sales in my appraiser response on page 4. Now, as far as the smallest parcel, which is petition 2025-86, and that's parcel number 141280000. Due to the size of that parcel, it has a different classification. We value those smaller parcels based off of sales of similar smaller parcels. So when we saw that there were sales of smaller parcels that were more like the subject, that are, they were 5-acre parcels, each sold with no access to those as well, no power, no access to those as well. Those are more comparable to what the subject property is. So that's why we recommended that change for the small parcel based off of the sales that were discovered after our original response was sent out as well. Now, he does mention with that tract 3 is the one he's speaking of, with the adjacent parcels. We did also make adjustment to those adjacent parcels based off of those sales discovered later as well for those smaller parcels without access. And we can't use assessed values to value parcels. We have to use the sales that represent those. So with those sales that we did discover, that's why the adjustment for that.
Can you give me your numbers for 084 and down the list?
Yes. So for petition 2025084, parcel 161942000, we are asking the board to sustain the recommended value of $31,945. Petition 2025-85 for parcel 161932000. We are asking the board to adjust the assessed value to $31,092. Sorry, $31,920. For petition 2025-87, parcel 161936000. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. So let me read that again. So for petition 2025-85, parcel 161932000, we're asking the board to adjust to the recommended value of $36,416. And 2025-86, parcel 141280000, we're asking the board to adjust our value to $19,624.
Could you say it again, please?
Sure. So petition 2025-86, parcel 141280000, we're asking the board to adjust our value to $19,624. And for petition 2025-87, we're asking the board to adjust our value there as well to $33,293.
Can you step up and help him? I need to know what values he is putting on each of those. We'll start with 084, the first one.
Okay, they're going over your four entities. He wants to know the value that you're placing on each one.
So start with number 1, the last 3 digits of that one, 2025-084.
Is that the 23.59 acres?
20.71 acres.
Okay, what's the value on this one? You asked for it to be reduced to, what was that one, 36,000?
First of all, when you refer to smaller parcels, 161942 is almost the same size as 161936. There's only about 2 acres difference in them.
Those I was referring to, those as being the larger parcels. The smaller parcel I was referring to is the 6.23 acre. That's tract 3.
Anyway, I was concerned about why
Address,
you dropped.
address the board, sir.
Okay,
You can't talk to her, you have to talk to them.
the comparative value of those 3 particular large parcels, or being small parcels, as she called them, they're all very similar in size relative to being categorized in the same group. So I can't understand why 2 of them were reduced by 40% and the smaller one, which was only about 2 acres smaller, was never reduced.
I need your numbers. I need to know what you say your value is.
Okay, so I use the same formula that they do on a per acre basis. So my reassessment, my personal reassessment was based on $1 per acre value, which could be multiplied times the acres to get to the real dollar value. So I'd have to run the numbers back, but on.
I want to know what this one is worth.
Okay, so on 161942, which is the smaller of the 2, I'm suggesting that the per acre value should be $925 an acre, not $1,542 per acre.
Okay, what's the total you're asking?
He doesn't have them totaled.
Okay,
It's 925 times 20.71.
925 times 20.71 is 19,157 if you want to round up. It's 156.75.
Okay. So now we're going to 085, the second one on the petition.
okay.
The second 085.
So what, so they want to know what my evaluation,
On the second one. 085.
I gotta find, where is it on here?
Is that the 31 acre?
Yes.
Okay,
Right here.
Okay, so it would be $11,140 per acre times 31. 3192. I should have brought a calculator.
$36,388.80. So 389 if you want to round up.
okay, the smallest one is 086. Casey, that's how many acres?
6.23 acres.
Okay.
Where's your
Okay,
smallest?
so here's the smallest
Okay.
one.
No,
Okay,
no, that's 20 acres. Where's your 6.2 acres?
oh, this is 6.2 acres. That's tract 3.
Okay, how much?
I'm saying that it should be left alone at $4,477 because that's comparable to the 2 next door.
So
That were-
$4,471.
Yep, $4,477.
77, okay.
Yes, that's what I suggested stay at because that's comparable to the 2 next door.
Okay, and 087, that's the last track, number 4.
What's this question, 07?
I don't see the numbers. Is that the
$1619.36.
22.59 acre, or 23.59. Okay, how much is this one?
$1,411 per acre.
Okay, so it's 1411 times 23.59.
Well, that's what they've assessed it at.
Oh, okay, what's your, this is the one that you said was 900 and something per acre?
Wow, this is crazy.
So he wants to know how much you think this should be. If they have it at that, what did you think it should be changed to?
Oh, my. This is embarrassing. Okay, but see, this is the one. So he's talking about this one.
We just did this one.
2273 is what I have. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be right.
So 2273 times how many acres?
Yes.
Casey, how many acres?
23.59.
53,620.
53,000?
You said 2273 times 23.59?
Yeah.
Yes, 53,620.
And you have it at 1,141 per acre.
Oh, 1141 now?
Would it be the same as the other, the 31 acre?
See, this equals that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, what, how many dollars do you have per acre on this one? That's what they have. What did you have? 925, I think you said.
Yeah, right here,
Okay,
it's 42.
so 925 times
that
23.59.
21,820 and 75 cents. 21,820 and 75 cents.
21.
Right.
This is at 925 per acre.
Okay. Sir, is there anything else you want to say?
Is there anything else you want to say?
Oh, these larger parcels, I don't have a particular problem because they're pretty close to what I can accept. The one major thing is that the tract 3 in the 5 acre parcels at Adrian is totally out of proportion. And that should be left alone the way it is at $4,000.
All right, Casey?
I have nothing else.
All right.
This concludes the Grant County Board of
Unless-
Equalization.
Well,
I didn't have any questions.
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Forgot. Yeah.
No, okay.
Sorry.
Concludes the Grant County Board of Equalization hearings. The board will review all the information provided and board orders stating their decision will be issued within 45 days. If either party disagrees with the board's decision, they may appeal to the Washington State Board of Tax Appeals within 30 days of the mailing of the board order.